Good evening, everyone. Here we are on the square in downtown Wadsworth, getting ready to see this year's Blue Tip Parade. The weather seems to be holding off. It rained not too long ago, but it's holding off now, and let's hope Mother Nature will keep the clouds back until the parade's over. With me here tonight is Cindy Turley.
Cindy Turley.
We're going to be bringing the parade to you tonight from the square. Here.
Welcome all of you Wadsworth viewers. Fast approaching the square is the VFW Post 1089 Color Guard. This award-winning color guard from the VFW Post is led by Clarence Ruck. Is that how you say that? I hope so.
And following right behind are our own Wadsworth High School Marching Grizzlies. Under the direction of high school band director Sam Mays, the high school band has had another award-winning season. They're always a highlight of the Blue Tip Parade.
Wonderful to see them here every year.
They sound great. Okay, coming up in the float here is the Grand Marshal of the parade, Wadsworth High School wrestling coach John Gramuglia, and members of the high school wrestling team, which was 8th in the state and subdivision and sectional champions. Team members include Bob Jones, Reggie Ray, Jay Smith, and Jeremy Piaz.
Just a note, Joanne, Bob Jones finished first in state. And fast behind them is our mayor, John Hanna, in a little semi driven by Lori Hanna, and accompanying them is Joey Hanna, his grandson. Behind them is the mayor's family in a convertible driven by John Jr. with April Hanna, Josie Hanna, and their grandchildren. Wow, we got a little lull here in the parade. Something must have happened back there. Let's see, next on our list.
They will all be proceeding to the square now for the lighting of the match.
Yeah, you know what? I bet that little Lori Hanna probably put the pedal to the metal and
beat everybody down here,
beat the rest of the parade to the center of town here to the quick. Coming up in a convertible should be Dwight Powers, this year's Citizen of the Year.
That's the Sun newspaper.
Sun
Citizen.
Sun Citizen of the Year.
Dwight and his committee have been responsible for putting on the Blue Tip for many, many years. The Blue Tip is a nonprofit organization that helps to fund everything from space camps and band boosters to Red Cross and Fish. We're all very happy to recognize Dwight for his many years of unselfish devotion to the people of Wadsworth by putting on this wonderful Blue Tip Festival and Parade.
Our hats are off to Dwight. And like you said, Joanna, I think the weather's going to hold out for us here.
You know, in all the years I can remember, even though it might have rained a half an hour before the parade, somehow, miraculously, it does stop and the parade takes place. I really can't remember any time when it's really been rained out. Maybe before my time in Wadsworth, but...
As our viewers at home can see, the streets are lined with people. The rain and the weather has not kept the spectators away, and they're enjoying a delightful evening in downtown Wadsworth.
We're not able, from our vantage point here in front of the library, we really aren't able to see the lighting of the match, but I believe that is taking place now right on the square.
I can see approaching the Wadsworth Area Chamber of Commerce float. This float is sponsored by the good people of Huntington Bank. Riding on the float this year are Citizen of the Year, Robin Labaugh and her family, Business Person of the Year, Connie Walk, and her daughter, Morgan. Business of the Year, Bueller's Food Market, represented by Paula Shaw and her daughter, Monica. Miss Wadsworth 1995, Sunny Gross, and the WACC Director, Beth Workman. And lots of candy for the kids on the sidelines.
They all look like they're having a good time, don't they?
Yes, they do. And out the candy goes to the kids. There's Miss Wadsworth standing up on top. And there's Connie Walk. Hi, Connie Walk.
Okay, coming right up here, we see Lolly the Trolley. This is Magnolia Care and Rehabilitation Center. This is their 7th year in the parade, and their residents range in age from 75 to 102. I guess this proves the old saying, you're as young as you feel, because those folks really enjoy being in this parade every year.
Next in the lineup is the Guardian Home Nursing Float. Since 1982, home care clients, as well as extended care facilities throughout Northeast Ohio, have relied on Guardian Home Nursing. Guardian shares this float with Stark County-based Wishes Can Happen. Wishes Can Happen makes their wish come true. And a very nice float it is. Some of their family and workers throwing the candy to the kids on the street.
Gee, we're just not in the right position here, Cindy. We can't catch any of that.
We've got a lot of candy.
A lot of good catchers right down here in front of us. Coming right up here is the Wadsworth Healthcare Center. Wadsworth Healthcare Center has been serving this community for over 20 years. They have a staff of over 100 well-trained and dedicated caring individuals who provide individual attention to each resident entrusted to their care. They're being represented in the parade this year, with many of their residents riding in the parade to show their support for Wadsworth. And they're right in front of us here in the van and in the limo.
There's a nice big stretch limo there. Some of their people and some little ones and some clowns and some eager throwers and
some eager catchers too.
Yeah. We had a nice downpour before the parade began, but
I think the parade is now, I think the match has been lighted and the band has started up again, and the units will start moving on. They're stopped right here in front of us momentarily.
Well, you know, Joanne, usually I'm a participant in this parade.
Yes, I know.
Yes,
I've mentioned your name many years.
I'm sorry to say, but the plungerettes are not in the parade this year. The toilet toss is not going to happen this year, but who knows? There's always next year. Behind the Healthcare Center is Senator Grace Drake. She represents the Ohio 22nd Senatorial District, and she has represented Medina County for 12 years.
And she is a participant in this parade every year.
She's very active in Medina County. She takes her job very seriously, and she's a very nice person. Like you said, I think as soon as this match is finished downtown, the parade will move on through. We got a look here on our screen of the senator as she sits in her convertible. What kind of car is that, Joanne?
I don't know. I think it's a Corvette.
Think so? I think so too.
all these young people here are getting the benefit of the stalled parade because they're getting an extra allowance of candy being thrown here.
I might add, on my way to work this morning, I saw quite a few blankets and quite a few chairs out on the Devil Strips. The Wadsworth Blue Tip Festival parade is a very large parade, and it's very well attended every year. One of the largest in the county, I believe.
Well, it's always amazed me that people do set up their blankets and chairs.
Camps, I call them, Joanne. Camps, that's what they are, camps. Well,
people have their favorite vantage points. As a matter of fact, before I started sitting up here commenting on the parade, I had my favorite little spot up further on Broad Street.
Okay, the parade's beginning to move, and Senator Grace Drake will be going by the stand here. And behind her is the group of disabled American veterans. This chapter of the Disabled American Veterans represents Medina County.
I don't think they've quite moved into our view yet.
Something we should always remember, our veterans. And I think that they're about ready to start coming down into the center of town. Small stall in the parade. Ah, Norman Bragg is sitting in that convertible with the senator. Somebody get that man a booster seat.
Okay, here come the Disabled American Veterans, the Medina County chapter, advancing toward us now. Gary Akers, who is a member of this chapter, is the state commander of the Disabled American Veterans.
Fine group of people. Okay, right behind that group, we have the Marine Corps League. Dewey. They are under the direction of Jerry L. Opie. Looks like, what is that monument they have there?
That Iwo Jima. It's a replica of the raising the flag on Iwo Jima. Coming up right behind them, we'll see our Medina County Commissioner, Sarah Pavlovitz. She's riding in a horse-drawn carriage provided by Rosewood Carriages, and it's pulled by some real sturdy horse.
And right behind her is our county commissioner-elect. He must be up for election again. Commissioner Brown, Ferris Brown. He is a Wadsworth resident and an annual participant in the Blue Tip Parade.
And coming right up behind Ferris
here's your group.
A favorite of mine. It's the Grandmothers Club of Wadsworth. This club has been going strong for 48 years, and all grandmothers are invited to join the club. The group meets on the first Friday of every month at the Center for Older Adults. Rita Branham is the president for 1996, and they're being driven in one of Dr. McCandless's antique vehicles.
Love that car. Beautiful.
Yeah, it's great.
Beautiful. That's the kind of convertible to ride in.
Yeah, it sure is.
Well, there's our Colin Cranston. Hello, Colin. I wonder what he's doing down there.
They're selling. Okay. Lions Club.
Lions Club. And right behind Ferris Brown and the Grandmothers Club is the American Ex-Prisoners of War. The North Central Ohio chapter of American Ex-Prisoners of War extends greeting to each and everyone watching the Blue Tip Parade. They say, God bless America, and God bless you. Thanks for coming to the Blue Tip Parade.
And following right behind them is a familiar sight to a lot of folks, Ronald McDonald representing our Wadsworth McDonald's. Pam Ringer is the manager of our local restaurant. Hi, Ronald.
Right behind them is a little car driven by the Kidney Foundation of Medina County. An antique little white car. What kind of car do you think that is?
I honestly have no idea.
I'm not one for cars, and I can't tell you that. Beautiful car, though.
All these young bicycle riders are having a good time.
Oh, and they look a little wet, don't they? There's our Michelle Boyd of Kovac Realtors, and let's see, I can't remember. Chamber of Commerce President, Jackie Cameron.
Yeah, I guess.
And lots of little bicycles. Here's a float I like, full of little Indians.
This is the Medina County Indian Guides, sponsored by the YMCA. The Indian Guides and Princesses fosters fellowship between father and child. Their motto is friends always, pals forever.
And right behind that is the Special Steppers, baton and drum group. Special Steppers is a marching group consisting of mentally and physically challenged participants. They are very proud to have this opportunity to perform for you. And we're very happy to have them here. Very good. And then a little, what do we call this? A dump truck?
Mm-hmm.
I'd say is the growing tree preschool.
I don't think
But it
so.
doesn't really look like that, but that's what it's supposed to be.
This is the Wadsworth coming right up here is, I'm not sure what we were looking at in the dump truck there. Our notes don't really give us good clue to that. But here are the
those
Wadsworth
look like preschoolers.
Here are the Wadsworth Fantastics 4-H Club. These the members of this group range from 6 years to 17 years. And here comes the Learning Ladder Preschool right behind them.
And right behind them is the Generals 4-H Club, Director Joan Greenberg. The Generals 4-H Club enjoys living and learning about other creatures that share our environment. And here we have some Wadsworth Youth Wrestling participants. These look like maybe some junior members. In the past 2 seasons, our team has compiled a 12-2 dual meet record. This year, 4 of our wrestlers qualified for the state tournament.
here's a new addition to the parade from the Windy Hill Llama Farm. The farm is located on Route 57 south of Wadsworth, and they breed and sell llamas. Windy
Whoa.
Hill has 14 llamas and welcomes visitors.
They're very beautiful. I like that.
Yes.
Right behind them is the AAA Auto Club manager Bobby Schickler. Here is AAA Travel Agency aboard the big red boat. With Looney Tune friends, you can enjoy a 4-night cruise, free when you stay in and register at the AAA by July 5th. So come cruise away with AAA aboard the big red boat. Ah, look what's coming up here. I like the looks of that. Sharp. It's the Schickler racing car.
And strange, but right behind them is Workman's Towing.
Does that tell you anything, Joanne?
I'm wondering myself. And coming up behind them, we're going to see some other really great vehicles. Medina Corvette Club is represented here. It was organized in 1983 and a member of the National Council of Corvette Clubs. And new members are always welcome. I'm assuming you'd have to have a Corvette to be a member.
Yes, I would imagine. I couldn't be a member of that group right yet. Some beautiful vehicles there.
Really?
I think I'd take any of them. Wonderful. Not a very big family car, though.
No.
I think I'll probably have to stick with that wagon. And right behind the Corvettes is the Wadsworth Electric Department, and there's our Magnum man, Pat, behind the wheel. And let me see, that looks like Ray and his little daughter as passengers in the Wadsworth Electric Department bucket truck. I'm gonna say, hi, Pat. It's always good to know we have the Wadsworth Electric Department right here. It's a great service the city has and supplies for the citizens of Wadsworth.
Coming up is Pete Rademacher on his Radacycle. I'm sure that everybody has seen this contraption in the parade in previous years. The Radacycle has appeared in over 155 parades since its designer and builder put it together. Pete Rademacher is a 1956 Olympic heavyweight boxing gold medalist, and he's appeared now in 6 blue tip parades. He's the director of golf tournaments for the American Cancer Society in Ohio, with 90+ events held each year throughout the state. He's a busy man doing good things for other people.
Good things.
And here's our Medina County Commissioner, Pat Geisman.
Pat Geisman's been a regular participant in the parade, I believe. She's a county commissioner, very active in Medina County. Behind her is Judge Lynn Slaby, judge of the 9th Court of Appeals and a former Summit County prosecutor. We welcome Lynn Slaby to the Wadsworth Parade.
And here's a familiar sight to everyone, the National Association of Letter Carriers. Postmaster Ed Bayman, City Carriers, and Ron Hahn is playing Uncle Sam here somewhere. Maybe he isn't here.
Boy, you
yes,
better believe
he is,
it.
over there.
I count on my mailman
Our
every day.
Our postmaster is driving the mail truck.
We appreciate our mailmen.
We sure do.
And women, mail people. And right behind them, and now in the quiet zone, is the Wadsworth Fire Department. This is the 100th anniversary of the Wadsworth Fire Department, and we welcome them to our parade.
And we are really proud of all these wonderful vehicles that this city has in our fire department.
I sure hope we don't need to use any of them while we're
Me
in the
too.
parade here. Right behind them is Buck Adams in a little Jeep.
Here's
And
our latest addition, the Humvee.
Quick attack fire vehicle. And it's so low, I can't even tell you who's driving that. Nice
Well,
looking
Cindy,
vehicle.
we're in the perfect spot because we can look at all these vehicles and enjoy them, but we don't have to sample their sirens.
Oh, the sirens are just a bit too much for me. Here's the Wadsworth Fire Department. Big ladder truck. I like to know that guy knows how to drive that thing. That's one big truck.
We have some great looking equipment.
I imagine we have quite a few emergency vehicles here coming through before we get on with the rest of the parade. We have a Wadsworth EMS Rescue 2. And there's our EMS personnel. Always quick to help a citizen in need in Wadsworth. Now there's an old fire truck, Joanne.
Yeah.
I don't think it's in regular use anymore.
I think it is a parade vehicle.
Parade vehicle.
And look,
quite
it's
stylish.
beautifully kept. It's really quite remarkable.
It's in very good shape.
All our surrounding towns are always anxious and nice to participate in this
Yes,
parade.
they are.
We have Orville, Rittman, and many other towns that we'll mention as they come by us here. We always like to see them participating in the parade. I think we're having a few raindrops falling down on us here. I hope that it's just a light shower. Actually, the sky over us is quite light, so hopefully it won't turn into any big rain.
Here comes the Rittman engine number 57 with some Wadsworth people waving to our neighbors, Rittman firemen.
These yellow fire engines are certainly visible, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
They are very visible on the road. I always notice when I am driving that you can see those a long way off.
Engine number 57. And behind them, we have a Chatham Fire Department emergency vehicle.
Followed up by Canal Fulton.
And Medina Township. I think we hit about every surrounding community.
I think so.
Come to Wadsworth today to participate in our parade. And not only do they participate in parades, but I think there's a real good mutual aid system between fire departments and emergency services and Medina County. It's good to see these vehicles out here today.
There's another bright yellow truck coming up that belongs to Brunswick Fire Department.
And behind them is Seville Guilford, EMS. You know what? I never knew we had so many emergency vehicles in this county.
I know, and this is only a sampling of the
Just a
total.
sampling. Could you imagine Some of these vehicles are very obvious what they do. Some are EMS vehicles, some are tanker trucks, ladder trucks. Here's a heavy rescue, Seville Guilford Fire Department.
With a little birthday greeting that says, "Happy birthday, Susan Plank, 40-something, one last time."
Oh boy, I bet she appreciates
I guess that's telling.
Well, happy birthday, Susan. And behind them is another fire truck from the Sharon Township Fire Department. Good to see our tax dollars hard at work. You have the vehicles and the manpower when we need them. Sharon Township.
They have quite a few vehicles here. I hope they don't have any emergencies while the parade's going on.
Well, I'd have to say most of the people are here at the parade. Large crowd here today. Lots of people had their places marked on the curb before the parade began, and I don't think the rain shooed anybody off before the parade began.
Doesn't seem as though it did.
Sharon Township EMS vehicle. Some type of
bright
rescue.
orange one coming up.
That's from
That belongs to Marshallville.
Marshallville. Volunteer Fire Department. And behind them we have a Norton Fire Division.
Oh, look at their Dalmatian. Is he ever cute?
He's my kind of dog.
When he appears on the screen here, people will enjoy seeing this big puppy hanging out the window. He's cute. All the children here really are enjoying him.
Behind that Norton Fire Division, we have another Norton Fire Department, EMS and Rescue.
Here's Chippewa Township Fire Department.
Chippewa and Doylestown.
And coming up last, but certainly not least, is Wadsworth
Fire Department.
Final entry in the parade.
Fire Department driven by Andy Hunter. And whoa, what are those little cars behind the fire trucks? It looks like Napa. Except I'm not really quite sure what little Napa auto truck and a little Napa auto car.
They're adorable.
Allen M&S Auto Parts.
I bet
right
every child standing here wishes they had one.
Oh, or wishes they were driving.
Here comes Realty One, celebrating 100 years of Olympic greatness. The president is Jim Miller, Vice President Sonny Taylor. In addition to their float, they also sponsor the seniors in the gazebo.
I love that float. Look at that cake.
Realty One.
Look at that
each
cake.
year, they do host the senior citizens of Wadsworth in the gazebo area so that they have good seating, can see the parade easily, and they serve refreshments to them.
Oh, and right behind them is one of my favorite. There's B&L Racing. Bob Grubrick and our local councilwoman, Laura Grubrick, on the back of that motorcycle. Our hats go off to them. I hope he has another great year.
They race in the second oldest race in the U.S., which is the Pikes Peak Hill Climb in Colorado Springs. They also race on all the super speedways across the U.S. on a motorcycle.
Okay.
And as many people know who've seen some of their travelogues, they have taken some fabulous trips
traveled
on their motorcycle.
And I wish them a safe year this year on their motorcycle. Behind them
are the folks from Breakpoint, which is the middle school program for after school.
And
this is a really wonderful program, and I'm sure people will be hearing more about it. It'll be starting in September here in Wadsworth. Brenda Hembury is the founder and president. Jean Chesko, Chris Turner, and Vicki Lincecum are board members, and it's a great idea for a place for children to go after school.
well, I thought we were through with those fire trucks, but there was too many to put together. We had to break it up a little bit. There's the City of Medina in a fluorescent green, yellow, and West Bend Fire Department. And I wonder where that is. That's a 1966 vintage. That's got to be a showpiece. And Bristol. Look at the boots on that, Joanne.
Yeah.
They're ready for the fire. Behind the fire trucks coming are Rockies are rocking.
From Magic City.
Hey, John, come here.
And
Next year's campman coming down the road. You notice the lights are off?
they're wearing their purple today.
I'm serious. Look at where the lights are.
They are let's see, those folks from Magic City that we were looking at, it's a junior league softball team. Right in front of us here is our own municipal court judge, James Kimbler. He's running for the Court of Common Pleas this year.
Good luck, Jim. Behind him, we have another Wadsworth EMS vehicle, Rescue 1, with some of our local EMS staff.
Why don't you have your lights on? I know why.
And fast coming behind him is Denise Gambita. She's running for county treasurer.
Actually, I don't know where Denise is, but she's not on that. She's not on that.
There's
she must be out
Mrs.
walking.
Kovac.
And we've missed her. Here's our Medina County prosecutor, Dean Holman.
I'll try.
We have McCammon bowling supplies and hardwood flooring. And they're sponsoring the All-Star Marlins, 1996 All-Star Marlins.
Well, here we have the Iceman. It's McCammon Bowling Supplies and Hardware Flooring. And behind them,
Looks like
Those are some
the spirit
cheerleaders.
team or the cheerleaders from Wadsworth High School. And here's Medina County Auditor Mike Kovac. Wadsworth can claim Mike as a hometown boy. He's a Wadsworth High School graduate.
Driving his car is
His
his
dad.
father, Gene Kovac, an ex-councilman. I think that float that went by before was the Federated Democratic Women of Medina County. That would include...
We didn't pick up on that.
Yeah, that would include Gambita, but include all the rest of those Democratic women. That would tell us why the auditor's wife was on that float.
Here comes the Treats Mobile of TCBY. They're passing out free yogurt and free frozen yogurt and coupons. They're located on Great Oaks Trail, and they allow you to have all of the pleasure with none of the guilt. Here's Unit 170, Wadsworth, Ohio.
Where we at?
Followed up by River Styx Market.
The premier staffing group of One Park Center.
It's owned by Jim Babcock and managed by Joy Wozni. They help to fill temporary to permanent positions for companies in the area. The vehicle was donated by Sharon Manufacturing. Here's Carol Ryder, who is the candidate for probate juvenile court judge. She's one of the candidates, I should say.
Yes. And here comes the little American pulling tractor owned by James Funk. He pulls at county fairs in the summer and participates in various parades. Behind the little tractor is the Wadsworth Republican Party.
Well, this is Jill Heck, who's also running for probate and juvenile judge. She's actually serving in that position right now. Here's Jazzercise.
Oh boy. I don't know if I have as much energy as these women.
In past years, they've performed some of their routines in this area. Looks like they're going to again.
We're going to be lucky. I'm not sure if they're wet from the rain or if they've been working out all the way down that hill.
Well, we're going to get a little sampling. And here's the WCTV cam cart. They're taking pictures of us while we're taking pictures of them.
Wow.
Driven by Joanna
Hello,
Perino.
Joanna. We'll wave to our WCTV friends. Fast coming behind them is the Wadsworth Public Library Bookmobile. In 1995, the Wadsworth Public Library Bookmobile loaned out more than 130,000 items to the people in the community. During the school year, more than 600 students visit these vehicles each week at schools and community stop locations. In the summer, look for the Bookmobile at a neighborhood stop near you. There are 28 locations.
I think it's a fantastic service of the library and an amazing record, loaning out 136,000
It's wonderful.
items.
I remember going to the Bookmobile when I was a student myself. Not every school can have the resources that one library Public Library downtown Canton. It's just wonderful. You can have all that right at your own school.
Here comes the steer from Brown Derby Roadhouse. This is Akron's oldest family-owned steakhouse. It started in 1941. It's in Montrose. It feature fresh-cut USDA choice and prime wood-fired steaks.
And behind
Sounds
them,
good to me.
yeah, it sounds great about now. Behind them is Sherwin-Williams, your one-stop shopping, proud sponsor of the Cleveland Indians.
And here's Neil Hassinger. He's a Republican candidate for Medina County Sheriff. He's a retired commander of the Ohio State Highway Patrol, and he developed and managed the Medina County Home Arrest Program, the Sheriff's
Behind
Department.
him, walking on foot, is independent candidate for sheriff, John Deachin.
He'll be coming up here. We're still looking at people who are with
Oh, those are still
passengers.
Hassinger. He's got a large entourage. Well, there's
Yes.
Councilman Sharon Ray. Or should I say Councilwoman? Wow, that little doggy has a Hassinger for sheriff. They didn't miss anything on that group.
No.
Okay, I see now.
I think we're going to see several candidates for sheriff in a row
Yes.
here.
Yes, now approaching the center is John Deachin, and he is walking. And I believe that's him carrying that little baby there. Actually running with that little baby. And behind is another candidate for sheriff, Joe Lewandowski, Democratic candidate for Medina County Sheriff. He is a retired Cuyahoga County police officer and is currently working to set up a rape crisis center for Medina County to assist victims of sexual assault. And he has some children there on top of some bales of hay too. I think everybody's about candied out by the time they get down here.
Well, here comes the calliope. This is a favorite in the parade because a parade isn't a parade unless you have a calliope. We're glad it's back again this year, and we hope you enjoy the music as it passes by.
The Salvation Army is right behind them under the command of Majors Gary and Shirley Long. Celebrating over 75 years of serving the citizens of Wadsworth, their slogan is, heart to God and hand to men.
And here comes the Wadsworth Kiwanis Club.
And there's Joe Gaines sitting with the Kiwanis Club. Wow. Behind them, down the street a little bit, is
Rick Marco.
Rick Marco.
He's also a candidate for a juvenile and probate court judge. We have a lot of candidates in this parade this year, and it's good for us to be able to see them up close and personal. He looks like he's having a good time throwing candy out to the children.
Those little girls in that convertible look like they're having a good time too. I think they're eating about as much candy as they're throwing out. And behind them we see walking the Dairy Queen ice cream cones.
think everybody would like to have one of those right about now.
Yes, indeed. And behind the Dairy Queen ice cream cones,
this is a 1923 Ford touring car coming up, and behind it, a 1931 Chevrolet Eagle four-door sedan. Those are owned by Edward Bird, and those are vehicles that have been around for a while, and they sure look great.
looking good. And behind them is Norton. Whoa, that must be Miss Cider Festival. That's the Norton Lions Club promoting Norton Cider Festival. They're pulling the cider wagon. I wonder if that was the Cider Festival Queen. Love that
Coming
cider
right up
festival.
here is candidate for U.S. Congress, Kenneth Blair. Kenneth C. Blair Jr. His motto is the common sense candidate of the future.
He's driving a tractor and pulling his logo. Behind him is the Grotto Riders of Trail Unit. What is that?
This is these folks are from the Yusuf Khan Grotto. It's a Masonically affiliated fraternal organization. They've been aiding the cerebral palsy child, and they also support dentistry for the handicapped. This unit's being led by Colonel Dave Breath and Major Don Hutchinson.
I would say in that Ohio Proud vehicle, that must be the Ohio Department of Agriculture. Ohio Proud van travels to parades, fairs, festivals, and special events across the state, promoting agricultural products which are 50% raised, grown, or processed in the state. And behind them,
that's Miss North American Scholastic, Crystal Stump.
beautiful. I love her dress. And behind her is
These are the pageant winners from the Miss North American Scholastic pageant. We saw Crystal Stump, and following our Tara Kirkpatrick, Bianca Williams.
Jennifer Dunson.
We wait till we see who's coming up here. This next young lady that we'll be seeing is Hillary Powers.
She's the Barberton 1995-96 National Ambassador.
We don't know who this young lady in the red Corvette or the gold Corvette are, but the ones we have not mentioned are Crystal Alexo, Jeremy Milhoen, and Jennifer Dunson.
Those are some tiaras they wear now.
I should say. Here's another vehicle coming up from TCBY. And riding in the car right behind TCBY is former Mayor Tom Cox.
And behind him is the Wadsworth Area Historical Society with 3 antique cars. The first, driven by Buster Smith, is a 1930 Ford 4-door sedan. Riding are Carl Harder, Orpha Huntsberger, and John Hain.
I see Trudy McDaniel in there too.
The second car is a 1968 Ford Mustang driven by Betty Smith. Riding with her are,
It's actually a Ford Thunderbird.
well, I think the second car must have not been able to make it. So this would be the 1965 Red Thunderbird driven by Dave Carlson with Nancy Phillips, Ruby Razor, and Shirley Westenbarger.
And here's Kovac Realtors float. Let's get down to the farm where life was simple. Make your real estate transactions simple by calling the professionals at Kovac Realtors.
And behind them is Hartzler Feed of Rittman, Ohio.
Coming right up here are the folks from Wadsworth Rittman Area Family Practice. Riding on the float are Doctors Thomas Lehner, Charles Berg, Jeffrey Contact, and Titus Shears, along with 25 or so staff and their children.
Nice to know we have doctors and healthcare in the area. Be involved.
I think this seems to be moving along pretty quickly now. I think everybody's concerned that the weather isn't going to hold out, so they want to move along here.
Next we have Timothy Farron for Medina County Recorder. Tim Farron is riding in a 1931 Ford Model AA truck. Tim is a candidate for Medina County Recorder.
And also candidate for Medina County Recorder, following right behind is Nancy Abbott.
Behind them, in a convertible with its top up, I believe,
But walking is Denise Gambita.
Denise is running for county treasurer.
Hey, Denise!
Behind Denise Gambita is Mark Griffin. Mark is a Democratic candidate for the state Senate. Mark is a former Peace Corps volunteer working 2 years in drought-ridden Africa. He is an attorney in Medina County specializing in consumer issues. And he's walking along there, shaking hands with the crowd as well. Behind them is Marissa Zink. She's the 1996 America's Ideal Baby Miss. And isn't she
She's
adorable?
adorable.
She is adorable. She's getting used to that tiara rather early.
Oh. We have coming up Coldwell Banker Hunter Realty and Skidmore Construction Company. They're sponsoring this float for Habitat for Humanity. Raffle tickets for the Playhouse on the float will be sold with proceeds benefiting the home to be built on Berkey Street in Wadsworth in 1996. And I think Habitat for Humanity is doing a wonderful job in Medina County. They've put up quite a few houses already, and Wadsworth's going to have another one here this year. And that Playhouse is adorable. I'm sure a lot of people would love to take some chances on that for their child. I think any child would love to have that in their backyard. Here's the Wadsworth Hunt Club. They're having their annual sportsman's raffle. I'm not just sure when that's going to take place.
Looks like they're raffling off that all-terrain vehicle. Would you think that what that is?
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me. I'm sorry we don't have any notes to indicate if that is actually the case. And we have coming right up here the Tadmor Temple Shriners with Ray Hartzell is their parade marshal. And we'll be hearing quite a bit of music here now because Tadmor Temple always provides us with good entertainment. These are the Shriners. These units are from Tadmor Temple in Akron. They're one of 191 shrine temples in North America. They're noted for their bands, calliopes, and colorful marching units, and most of all for the 19 crippled children's hospitals and 3 burn institutes. That drum and bugle corps is under the direction of Bill Waters.
We have a large group here today, Joanne.
And they do. They're always very well represented, and the parade viewers are always really entertained by this group. Everybody loves these cycles. They do a lot of maneuvers. Really good looking, yes.
Oh, we have still quite a few members from the Tadmor
Oh yes,
Temple.
they will be coming here for the next few minutes. This is the director's staff in this vehicle.
Uh-oh.
Well, it was the quiet zone.
Yeah.
They wanted to liven things up a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Now, here's a float noting that the Shriners do support 22 hospitals, and they are very well known for their children's hospitals and for their burn units. That's a little more than a bicycle built for 2, isn't it?
I would say just a little bit more.
The blue Harley Davidsons are from Tadmor's Temple Guard. Captain Ray Hartzell is the commander, and Ray is also Tadmor's parade marshal. The 3-wheeled motorcycles are all antiques, having first been put into service as police motorcycles in the early 1950s. And so these are for people who are motorcycle aficionados. This is a unit that's really special.
Wow, look at these little semi-trailers coming up here.
They are adorable. I bet there are a lot of little boys along here who'd love to have one of those.
Well, they don't have many riders today.
Not too many temple guards, but their calliope is certainly making some nice music here. It's an antique. And Randy Wells is the person in charge of it. This old circus calliope converted to electricity, and it's mounted on a truck chassis to give more folks the opportunity to enjoy it.
And behind them we have Matty Lou's Clip and Tip. Matty Lou's is located right on the square. For perfect hair, skin, nails, and tanning, go to Matty Lou's Clip and Tip. Behind Matty Lou's, we have Colleen Conley from Medina County Commissioner. Colleen is currently the York Township trustee. She's a candidate for Medina County Commissioner, and she's riding in a 1931 Model A pickup driven by her husband, Dale Conley.
Here we have coming up in a nice red Corvette, another candidate for Medina County Commissioner, Republican Steve Hambley.
Riding with Steve is Marsha Lehman, our local councilwoman for Ward 2. Behind Steve Hambley, we have the float by the Living Bible Museum. This float is brought to you courtesy of the Living Bible Museum in Mansfield, Ohio. It's the only life-size wax museum.
We have an entry here from Medina City. From Medina City Police Department. It's their DARE unit. This 1983 Olds 98 Regency was confiscated in a drug raid in Medina and donated to the police department by Lloyd's Marathon Towing Service.
The Medina County District Library Bookmobile, another bookmobile. We really do have the facilities available to reach out to the citizens in our county.
We certainly do.
We have a lot of resources available.
By the Wadsworth City Library can take advantage of the services of the county district library. We have here we have the Garden Club of Wadsworth.
Well, the Garden Club of Wadsworth theme this year is Life is a Picnic in Wadsworth, USA.
The Garden Club has been helping to make Wadsworth beautiful for over 60 years. Their special project is the East Park or the Gazebo Park.
They've got their work cut out for them this year.
I should
with
say.
The problems we've had with the bees, or lack of.
And with the rain that keeps coming down, it's a little hard to keep things.
Oh, Joanne, we've got some cute little girls coming up here.
And I believe these are the Rainbow Twirlers. They're directed by Kim Merkel, and they've won 11 first places in Ohio State Team Championships for Drum Majorettes of America in 1996. So they are some championship twirlers.
And behind them we have Echoes Air Incorporated. for all your residential, commercial, or industrial heating and air conditioning needs, serving Cuyahoga and Medina counties, located in the heart of Wadsworth.
And here we have Clampco Products Incorporated. This is their 25th anniversary year. They started in a garage at 192 College Street 25 years ago, and now they employ over 85 people. James Fenner was born and raised in Wadsworth, and he and his wife Linda are the founders and owners of Clampco Products Incorporated. Clampco makes high-performance hose clamps and specialty clamps right here in Wadsworth. And this is great. This is the Magic Cruisers Car Club. They're home based at Charger Lanes on Norton Avenue. They have a cruise-in car show every Thursday at Charger Lanes and every Sunday at Charlie's Restaurant. You can look for flyers on upcoming events. These are some of their cars that they have in their cruise-ins. Right now, I think we're looking at a 1964 Ford Galaxy. That's owned by Donna and Lana Hawkins. It was the first of its kind to have glass window installed in its convertible top.
Is that a convertible?
I'm not sure.
Well, that is a Galaxy. This group of youngsters coming up here has to be from Westside Gymnastics Club.
I guess so. They're performing their tricks right out here in front of us.
Right, they're doing cartwheels and flips out here, so I would assume they're from Westside. Westside's been in business for 11 years. It is conveniently located near Copley Circle, just 10 minutes from Wadsworth. They have trained many Wadsworth High School gymnasts and cheerleaders. Riding in the bed of the West Side Gymnastics truck are state champions Brad Kenna, Chris Jensen, Andy Richards, Sarah Duell, and Sarah Hickert.
Wow, these gymnasts are really wonderful. I wonder if they've been doing that all the way down Broad Street.
Well, no wonder they have gloves on.
Yeah.
They're walking on the asphalt with their hands. Some
I do
very little
believe
tots.
coming up here is the Ford Galaxy that we were mentioning before. This is the convertible, which I believe has the glass window installed in its convertible top. This convertible has been in over 100 or over many numerous car shows and parades. It's won over 100 awards and trophies.
Yes, this is done in.
This is the one that Mr. and Mrs. Hawkins own.
I think someone needs to observe the quiet zone. Coming up behind Bittner Auto Sales in Akron is a float by Travel Traditions. And what do you think HAD is?
There's Travel Traditions passing us by. And right behind them, we have HAD drilling contractors. I'm
Out
not
of
sure what they
Marshallville,
drill.
Ohio. They are drilling contractors for soil exploration. Behind them, we have a much quieter float. Ryder Dairy float. Welcome Ryder Dairy's Rosie and Little Rascal. Rosie and Rascal travel throughout Ohio and attend over 100 parades each year. Ryder Dairy salutes Wadsworth for their community spirit and is privileged to be asked to be part of your grand celebration. Well, we're very happy to have Ryder.
They're always a favorite part of the parade.
I'm sure. Well, Joanne, you know, we've been at the parade over an hour and a half now. How much more do you think we could have?
Well, there's quite a bit coming up here. We've got some great looking trucks here. They're Bill Long trucking, and behind him, Rick Sutton in a, these are both Peterbilt tractors.
Those are some very sharp looking trucks.
Really impressive.
Well,
I love that purple truck. You'd really notice that if you were driving on the highway, wouldn't you, Cindy?
I think so. You know, Joanne,
You'd notice it if they blew their horns, too.
I guess so. I wonder how many calls I'll get about that tomorrow at City Hall. Behind these tractor trailer rigs, we have the Paint and Paper Incorporated. Paint and Paper offers paint, wallpaper, blinds, and great customer service here in Wadsworth. And we're happy to have them in our parade here today.
They're noisy, too.
Well, you know what? It's just like a domino effect.
Yes, well,
I mean, one goes and I think they think all the rules are gone, and
we thought we we're in the quiet zone.
Yes.
We're looking here at the Medina County Park District. Thomas James is the director of Medina County Park District, and I have a couple of vehicles here representing them. A nice float here too. We're very fortunate. We have some really wonderful parks in this county. Here's the Trinity Bible School. They're going to be having their marketplace June 24th through the 28th.
Behind them we have the Creekside Animal Clinic with Dr. Michelle Mesner. Always good to know we have Dr. Mesner to take care of our furry friends. And behind them we have the Van Gogh Express Incorporated. This company was started in 1993 by owner Jim Bowman. They are the artisans of express freight. Their motto is load and go. For your shipping needs, one call does it all. Van Gogh Express. I wonder how many total units we have in the parade today.
I honestly don't know.
Come on, tell me, Reed.
I have no clue. But I must say it's been a great parade. It's been very interesting. We've had some new
We've had a large
and,
variety of things to see here today.
Here's Wadsworth Hair Design. Miss Wadsworth Hair Design is Brittany Clifford, daughter of the new owner of Wadsworth Hair Design. You can stop in there for your family hair care needs and see their new look. And here come the Plain Janes from Sky Park. This is a ladies group that's at Sky Park. They're always looking for new members. They adopt a family at Christmas time and donate to different causes.
Behind them we have WKDD van. WKDD is here today with the Station of the Year Cruiser. I guess that's the WKDD dog in there waving to all our viewers. Behind them we have the Whitlam Paint and Decorating, tossing out hats to our candy goers out here on the street. Whitlam Paint is celebrating 96 years in Wadsworth. Visit their new location at 200 West Walnut Street. Factory direct to offer more savings to you. Terry Whitlam is the Rotary chairperson for the Blue Tip Parade this year. She's the chairwoman. You're doing a great job. Thanks, Terry.
There's Mentor Auto Parts. They're located on Route 94 in Wadsworth. They're celebrating 8 years in business. And here's Star Bank, the bank without boundaries. Special thanks to the Wadsworth and Medina communities for their support. And they've got a lot of little stars in that car.
Behind them we have another candidate for county prosecutor, James Lever.
There he is right there. Very nice looking family. Here's coming up, we're going to see Love's Country Market. They're located on the square in Wadsworth. And owner Nancy Love has everything from Amish-made quilts to her famous trail bologna. There's something for everyone at Love's Market. P&S Ambulance Service. They're a division of American Medical Response. They've been in operation in the Wadsworth area for the last year. They're affiliated with the Wadsworth Rittman Hospital and respond to both private calls and act as a backup for the Wadsworth Fire Department.
All right, Joanne, look at there.
Oh.
There's the Wadsworth Tire Service. Now there's a big tire.
followed up by an antique car. And I'm not sure this little one is an antique car, but
I'm not sure it's going to make it through the parade,
all the
Joanne.
kids are having a great time looking at it. I'm wondering if it's backfiring on purpose or if it's having a problem. I think they're just teasing the audience. Here's a beautiful
Ford flying
pickup
its
truck.
Indians flag there. Support the tribe.
Sorry, we don't have any notes on these vehicles. Can't tell you much about them, but what we're able to observe. Here comes Hammer Truck Driving School. They've been in business for 16 years. They train tractor trailer drivers. They're located on Route 18 in Medina. So if you want to learn how to drive a tractor trailer, call Hamrick. Their number is boldly printed on the side there. Now that truck is pulling 2 trailers. That's
a big rig.
Looks like a trick to me.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, a 20-wheeler.
I think I'll stick to my 4.
Okay, behind the Hamrick truck, we have the Smith Dairy float. This is an employee-made float and a yearly favorite. I would say maybe a yearly favorite in the Blue Tip Parade.
And I wonder if those are some of the employees riding on the float. I would assume. There's Wadsworth EMS.
Well, I'm not sure if that vehicle's been through here once or not.
I kind of think it has.
Behind,
they had so much fun, they wanted to come around for a second turn.
Behind the...
Yeah, coming right up here. It's the old Phoenix. This is the old Phoenix stagecoach. This appears in the parade every year, and it was last year's winner in the horse division. I don't think any Blue Tip Parade would be complete without the old Phoenix stagecoach.
Now, it may have a little competition this year. If I remember, Commissioner Sarah Pavlovich was in a horse-drawn carriage at the beginning.
Yeah, that was a little different kind of carriage. It was a pretty carriage.
Very beautiful.
Here we have coming up Riccardi's Tree Farm. They're located at 2136 Greenwich Road in Wadsworth, and they're owned and operated by Perry and Paul Riccardi. Looks like they have a lot of little Santa Clauses riding on there.
Yes.
And here we have the Rocking A Buckskin Riders and BC Rangers. These are the BC Rangers of 4-H from Summit County.
Some very fine animals. Beautiful.
Coming up here, looks like last but not least is Medina County Sheriff Mike Gurich. Mike and his wife Debbie reside here in Wadsworth, and Mike is is part of the mounted patrol tonight.
And behind them we see the Pooper Scooper Patrol. Well, you always need one of those when you have livestock in a parade.
And, whoops, I guess we're getting a good shot of what they've been cleaning up there.
And they have been busy, hard at work.
Yeah, We have some cruisers from the Sheriff's Department following up here, and following them we will see some cruisers from our own Wadsworth Police Department.
There's our Daремobile coming up. You know, Joanne, weather did hold out. We made it through the parade.
That's wonderful.
And another year and another parade. It was so nice to have all of you here. Those that couldn't attend, I'm glad you could join us here on TV today.
We do want to give special thanks to the camera people, Mike Kiner and Al Pace, to the director, Ken Buck, who is, by the way, is a 6th grader, and the technical staff, Brian Dodge and Matt Neal, and from Cindy and I, we hope you've enjoyed the parade. We think we're very lucky the weather held out, and go down to the park and enjoy the
rest of the festivities.
And we'll see you here next year. Good night.
Good night.
Bye, Wadsworth.